Hello, Victor Ikechukwu Ureb. I'm making this video for you and your brother Maxwell. I have read your text messages you sent to me, and I could not fathom the level of the brevity and the lies that can be concocted in the soul of a man, that can be devised in the soul of a man. But whatsoever, I just want to reply you briefly. And I want God to be a God of justice that will intervene in this case. And everything that I'm going to say, if by any way maliciously that I concoct or I formulate any lies against you, the God of justice, the God of truth, will judge me by his word. All my life, I speak truth, and I believe in truth, and I preach truth. But I want to rehearse your mind before I make a symbolic gesture between me and your family. Because I have read with disheartening your boldness and your boasting regarding how you have destroyed David and Abigail, and boasted how your children, two of your sons, are undergraduates, and your daughter is a graduate, and you are prospered. You have gathered. David and Abigail are wasting like a vagabond. Now, when I came to your family in 1996, I have to try to cut away many things, because a rain that fell in 1 year by no means can be gathered in a bucket at a moment. That is to say, that incidences that had happened over these years, there is no way I can ever summarize it enough in a few minutes of video. Now I want to speak to you and Maxwell. As I said, when I came into your family in 1996, by contracting your sister, Adama, I saw many signs that showed me that there was danger, but I couldn't perceive it that time until after the wedding. But before the wedding, because I came back 1 year, only 1 year in Malaysia, and I came back. And I began to plan for the marriage and for migration with Adama, which your mother suggested also. I accepted and decided to take her with me. And she suggested Israel and brought a person which we start to make arrangement, and I paid money. And it happened to be a fraud, and I lost a lot of money. And I called you before the wedding and said that I can't afford further to take Adama to travel back to Malaysia where I came from. And you consented, say that's fine. Once I marry her, everything is fine. So to be sure that there is not a change of mind when one travels back. And I told your mother, and your mother accepted. And I married. And immediately after the wedding, there began to be a strong issue from your mother. Your mother began to be coercive and possessive and demanded that I must go with Adama. And I told her it's impossible because I don't have the money. I stayed only 1 year abroad and came back. And I did the marriage rites, was planning the wedding, and also lost money in migration to Israel at that time. And so I don't have the money again to go back and take 2 persons to go with her in a country that I don't have a stay. And your mother was causing a lot of problems. That one night she came forcefully to come to my house to say that her daughter must go with me. Because of the lot of trouble she and Adama was causing, I had to run to a friend in Obi. But only 7 weeks I was in Nigeria. And I came from there. They brought my bag and I went back to Malaysia. And I started to call her to tell her to follow things duly. That if she does the right thing as a good woman, within 6 months I will take her. But the more I proposed, the more trouble came. Instead of 6 months, and because of her disobedience, it took up to 3 years until I decided to forcefully bring her without minding that she was not submissive in any way. Just 1 month in 1999 when she came in July, 1 month in August, as I was preparing for her papers to put her in school, she began a pressure that she must come back. And I said, why must you come back just for 1 month? And I have to hide her passport. And everybody in Malaysia, friend, we are surprised. And a lot of trouble from that time began to manifest. I put her in the school. Nearly to graduation, she forcefully said she would no more continue in the school. And stopped and couldn't get the certificate. I began to send her and the kids to America. On the process of making the paper or preparing the whole thing, she one day said she will no more go to that America. And seized her passport and refused that it should be renewed in Malaysia. So that her visa in Malaysia died and it became impossible to process further. She began to chase me on the street to cause trouble, fight, everything. And I tried to know what is the reason for all these things. The church came to know why. She couldn't give the answer. The brethren came to know why. Until the brethren, African believers there, made a meeting and told me it is better for me to allow this woman to go. And I refused. To the point they have to contribute money. And gave me and said, maybe if I don't have money, They will give me a support that I should let her go. And Adama was going from one police station to other, trying to implicate me, to find me trouble. To one time, the police came many times to my home. At sometimes 1 a.m. One Malaysian police called me by the side and begged me that this woman hates you and she wants to put you in trouble. Why not allow her to go? Because one day they wanted to arrest her because she keep on giving them false information. And I pleaded with them that if you arrest her, it's like you're arresting me. And I began to write to you, Victor, when you were in Israel. I called you many times, I spoke to you many times. Even I sent a letter to you and sent you her secret diary where she has made it that I will die. And you told me that I called you many times and you told me you have checked with her. She couldn't give you any reason why all this. When the pressure was every corner, I was no more eating my home because my pastor has at that time told me that she told him that if she doesn't go back to Nigeria, she must kill me. One brother Moses told me the same thing, that she was planning to kill me, that I should no more eat the food. Before I will sleep in another room, I will gather anything that looks like a weapon, like knife, because she might kill me while I was asleep. Pressure was so much that I must send her back home. And I called you and I asked you, what is your opinion, Victor? Look at what is happening. You say, bring her back. I called your mother. All of you, nobody said anything. All you say, bring her back. And I consented. Made arrangement. She came back with hope. Maybe there could be a hope. But immediately she came back with the keys, because those children came because they were only 15 months. I tried everywhere to find where to put them. I have nobody in Malaysia, and there was no way 15 old months kids I could take care of them. Adama said that she can go without them if I want to keep them. But people advised me to let her go with them, because the only option I have was to put them in the motherless baby's home. But I felt guilty to put them there, waiting for them to grow. It can be a trauma to them. I decided to allow them to come back. I started to make every arrangement through my brother to send anything I was asked to. Anything I was told that is needed, until I noticed that you, Victor, wanted to use me as a resource of income. And I refused. Every attempt to bring my keys to my home was not fruitful. None of you, both you or Maxwell or your mother, said that, Adama, you have married, can you go back to your mother, your husband's house with the keys? None of you did that. Then I began to plan how to take care of my keys. But if we start to send the keys from one place to the other, until finally 2014, when I came back, when they were 13. Every attempt to take my children for their future, you refuse. You know that in any decent and civilized society, If it were not a place like Nigeria, you, Victor Ureba Maxwell, will be in prison for child exploitation and child kidnapping, because they are not your children. You are far away relative. You are a maternal uncle. It was a circumstance that took children of Israel from Canaan to Egypt, where they became slaves. Was the same thing that made David and Abigail to be under your bondage. You know that those children were not your own, but you told me that you must hold them unless I pay you, that you will destroy them. 2017, I came back again. I came to your village. I met your cousin, Chief Festus. And Festus told me that he and other elders have begged you, Victor, to leave these children to their father, to train them. I met some elders in Umezalans, in Umuihe, and they told me that they have pleaded with you, release these children, you want to destroy their future. It was easy before they were 18 to take them to Australia. By this time, they are established, but because you hate them, you refused